As President Donald Trump's second term unfolds, his administration's rapid alignment with Project 2025, a sweeping policy blueprint crafted by the Heritage Foundation, has ignited fierce debate over the future of American sovereignty, with over 46% of the agenda enacted within 6 months. The implications for federal governance, civil liberties, and national stability are profound. Beneath the surface, a more covert drama may be brewing, one in which the intelligence community, faced with executive overreach and civil unrest, considers drastic off-books measures to preserve the republic. Project 2025 is a 900-page manifesto designed to overhaul the executive branch, dismantle regulatory frameworks, and centralize presidential authority. Key proposals include eliminating the Department of Education, revoking diversity, equity, inclusion mandates, curtailing LGBTQ+ protections and gender-affirming health care, and establishing a U.S. sovereign wealth fund to consolidate federal assets under executive control. While Trump has publicly distanced himself from the document, many of his executive orders mirror its recommendations, and several key staffers are directly tied to its authorship. The result is a de facto compliance with a radical restructuring of American governance. The traditional balance of powers, executive, legislative, and judicial, is being recalibrated. Project 2025 threatens this equilibrium by concentrating power in the executive branch, undermining independent agencies and regulatory bodies, and bypassing congressional oversight through aggressive executive orders. The Sovereign Wealth Fund proposal, for example, places trillions in federal assets under a governance model shaped by the president's economic advisors, raising concerns about fiscal transparency and long-term accountability. Sovereignty, once a shared responsibility, risks becoming a singular executive prerogative. Project 2025's cultural mandates, particularly those targeting LGBTQ+ communities, reproductive rights, and educational autonomy, have ignited widespread protests. Simultaneously, Trump's foreign policy missteps compound the crisis: alienation of NATO allies, and flirtations with isolationism, unilateral trade decisions that destabilize global markets, and increased alignment with authoritarian regimes. These moves threaten not only geopolitical stability, but also economic resilience. The erosion of trade partnerships and the weaponization of tariffs could trigger inflationary spirals, supply chain disruptions, and investor flight, all of which feed domestic unrest. The administration's response has included expanded surveillance of activist groups, militarization of federal law enforcement, and attempts to criminalize dissent under vague national security pretexts. The U.S. intelligence community, tasked with safeguarding national security and constitutional integrity, may face a dilemma. If executive actions erode democratic norms or violate constitutional boundaries, agencies like the CIA, NSA, and FBI may be compelled to assess internal countermeasures. Suppression of dissenting voices could trigger whistleblower activity within federal agencies. The IC may intensify monitoring of domestic political shifts that resemble authoritarian consolidation, especially if judicial checks are weakened. If civil unrest escalates and diplomatic channels fail, The IC may quietly authorize off-books operations and acknowledged interventions designed to stabilize the nation from within. These could include counterintelligence operations to monitor or neutralize foreign influence, exploiting domestic chaos, quiet disruption of executive initiatives deemed unconstitutional or dangerously destabilizing, and back-channel diplomacy with foreign allies to reassure continuity of U.S. strategic commitments. In extreme scenarios where constitutional collapse appears imminent and conventional remedies are exhausted, a clandestine wetwork team may be sanctioned under the logic of national preservation. Such a unit, operating beyond formal oversight, would be tasked not with assassination per se, but with terminating the functional capacity of a presidency deemed existentially corrosive. This could manifest through engineered incapacitation, forced resignation via psychological leverage, or covert neutralization of command infrastructure. The legal and ethical ambiguity of such an operation would be profound, its existence denied even within classified channels. Yet history suggests that when republics teeter on the edge of autocracy, shadow actors may intervene not out of malice, but out of mythic obligation to restore the balance before the story breaks. The United States stands at a mythic inflection point. Project 2025 is not merely a policy agenda, it is a narrative architecture designed to reshape the nation's identity. Whether this transformation leads to renewal or rupture depends on the discernment of its institutions and the vigilance of its protectors. In this moment, the intelligence community may become the quiet guardian of sovereignty, operating in shadow to preserve the light.